Dennis, maybe not the results overall that you wanted last weekend, but you guys are obviously still playing at such a high level. Was that kind of been the message these last couple of days? Is let's, we're really playing well. Let's just keep that going.
Yeah, we talk about a standard. Results will just be a byproduct. We talk about of the way we want to play. Never do we go into a series, you know, thinking, we hope we're gonna I don't like to use the word hope. We want to just play the game right, and we feel if we do that, manage pucks, body language, compete, special teams. There's a lot that goes into it that it will just give us a chance. Like there's so much parity, in our league, and I don't know if we've won a game in our league where we've won by more than 2 goals, probably by only maybe one or two with an empty netter, even probably. So I think what's really important is that I always say to the guys, it's not the score, even between periods. I never talk about the score. I talk about a standard always, and I think that's really important when you start to build a culture on. Predicating on having success is that because again we can play a lot. We play good hockey. Like it just, if you watch the game flows and the analytics through Sport Logic, like that game there, right, wrong, or different states, you should win the game. But again, you still got to put the puck in the net and defend. So that's how it goes. But I thought we've had a good jump this week. Our guys are obviously disappointed, which is a good thing, off it. We're not happy with the results. So the only way to do it is to get back in the win column and knowing that we're going to go into a tough environment in Ferris and it's going to be a battle.
Obviously looking at Ferris, you're able to sweep them here this year, but obviously going to their place, what challenges do they present heading into this weekend?
Yeah, it's when you play in another team's rink, it's totally different, off it, and we had them here for 2 close games, actually right at the beginning of the year, and it's been some time since we played each other. So both teams have grown, I think in their game. They're coming off a weekend in St. Thomas where. I think the one score was 8-6 or 9-6 or something where, scoring 6 goals is a lot. So we got to be on our toes defensively. We got to stay out of the box. We talk about that all the time. Like discipline's so important. And even we if you look back to the weekend, special teams play such an integral part. 5-on-6 is part of a special team as well, off it. So for our guys, we learn from it. We park it. And we just focus now on what's ahead of us. And, but again, we know I just read yesterday about Coach Daniels. This will be his last year, at Ferris, which it's a remarkable what he's accomplished in his career. I remember being a grad assistant coach here, and they had Kunitz was playing, and we went up there for a 2-game set, and we got beat like 8-2 and 8-4 as a grad assistant, and and it's just remarkable, how he had a recipe of always being in the tournament every 4 or 5 years, it seemed like, and the longevity that he and his staff has done is just incredible. So I'm sure there's some emotion around that being announced this week, and we're going to have to again make sure that we take out all the noise and just focus on what we need to do.
For sure. I want to ask. Just that overtime sequence where Christian Stover made all those saves. He's on his back. The defense is just flying around. Like, what did you think of that? 20-second span. Watching it live and then even watching it on film, because that was such a wild span there in the overtime.
Very crazy. A lot of tired players by the end of that. I think. I don't know how they didn't finish it off at some point there. I'm sure they're sitting there scratching their head. It was very entertaining, I guess would be a great word, for fans on both sides of it. Obviously, Christian did an unbelievable job of just, just emptying the tank, throwing everything you can out there to try to keep the puck out. And our D were we had more guys. I think everybody was on the ice at one point, and you're just kind of flooding the inside. And then we got back to the 5-on-4, then 5-on-5, and we had extra D on the ice. So there's a little bit of chaos there because you're trying to manage the next line up, making sure that forward's got a D, this guy, and it's loud. And it was, but somehow we figured out a way, and, it's unfortunate the way it ended. But again, like I always say to the guys, we had our opportunities. The pucks were on our stick to have good clears in the 5-on-6. So we had opportunities to score a goal or two in the extra man pulled by them, and but kudos to them. They battled, and that's the way it goes. If you don't play for 60 minutes, you're not going to win a lot of hockey games. So.
I want to ask about Ryan O'Hara. These last 5 games, 6 goals after not able to find the back of the net. I think the first 16 games this season. Have you noticed anything different? Just from him these last handful of games, was it just kind of a matter of seeing that first one go in for him?
Well, yeah, until you said I didn't know he had 6 goals in 5 games. I don't really, to be quite honest, people probably think I'm crazy, but I couldn't tell you net front who does any of that. I look at line success, right? Like who's driving a line, and it's great to see Ryan, score, because I'm sure the first semester was a long semester, if especially when you've had those goals in the past, and it just seemed like whatever bad luck he had in the first, he had no luck either. Like it was just you felt for him, and every time he'd maybe have an open net, he would just miss or hit the post or something. But one thing I never spoke to him about it. I just kept telling and talking to him about just play the game right, play the game because the minute you start cheating because you're not scoring, at the end of the night, you really have nothing to hang your hat on, because you control your controllables and you play without the puck. And I just said to him, you just got to be, real good in our zone, stick to the system, be a good leader. He's one of our co-captains with Scar there, and the puck will follow you at some point. But the minute you start cheating, and you don't score, and then you haven't played a good game, now you leave frustrated, and you do that to yourself. So the biggest thing teaching these guys is, at the end of the night, control your controllables, because you can always at least say, hey, I did these things tonight really well, and whether or not the puck goes in or the puck bounces your way, and then you don't have to sit there and be so upset about your game, because I do think your attitude, your play without the puck, at some point it's going to follow you, and it's turned his way for him right now. So we need him to continue to shoot pucks and keep funneling pucks on it. I think that's the biggest thing, is guys don't, when they're not scoring, they quit shooting pucks too. Like, just if you're getting the shots and opportunities, that's always a good thing.
For sure. Obviously there's so many talented offensive players on this team, so many good leaders. What has Ryan been like for you, just as a veteran, as a leader on this team? What has he been like for you for your season?
Yeah, real good. Obviously guys like him who've been around, and Ethan Scardina and fighting all the seniors, like they're all and grad students. They've all been really, really good. And I say that with wholeheartedly. Like, I've coached a lot of teams and players, and we carry a lot of guys that are here right now, and it's really easy for a team to start to disarray based off of ice time and not playing in certain games, or it's easy for some seniors to feel they're entitled to power play. But with this group, like it's been remarkable, I think, and that's led by guys like Harry there, and Scar, and the rest of that senior group and grad students, because it can sometimes blow up, with having that many players, and a lot of players think of entitlement. This group here, like, it's tough to make decisions, because it's not, everyone works hard. Like, our guys are great. They do great in school. They're great in the community. They're polite. They're great teammates. And it makes it hard on my decision to, I have to make those, but it's not easy. And that's good, because my job shouldn't be easy to make those decisions. But I think a lot of our early success we've had so far is due to that group and the culture and the makeup of that locker room. I think their bond, they're together, they're the brotherhood, they're really happy for each other. And it's hard to find that, because we live in a world where a lot of people are all about being individuals, but we are a team sport. And if we look at the game on Saturday, every goal we scored, the guys pointed to the guy who set them up. And something we talked about early in the year. Like, you see a lot now, guys go on their own, pull their jersey up, do their own celebration. Like, we don't want that here. I know there's an emotion side to it sometimes, overtime or whatnot, but give credit where credit's due. Have humility. Show that respect to the guy that set that up, or the guy who blocked that puck to give you the breakaway, off it. So I'm starting to see that grow in our group, and I think we're pretty fortunate to have a good leadership group and a good older group that has embraced that.
I'd say, it's been over 2 months since you last faced Ferris, and essence through the season, you both have, are different teams than you probably were November 1st. How do you prepare for a team? Is it like a new preparation compared to, what you've seen? What's Ferris been doing well? I know you mentioned that they scored a lot against St. Thomas.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because we do pre-scouts on everybody. The pre-scouts we give to the players are kind of a condensed version because I'm a still believer on us focus on the way we want to play, the way we want to set the pace, the way we want to dictate the flow of the game. Now there's times in it where we have to make an adjustment. I thought on Saturday we made a really good adjustment on our breakouts in neutral zone. Bemidji on Friday was really taking the walls away on us. We couldn't get any flow in our breakout. We were turning the puck over, hence their zone time was double ours. On Saturday we started doing a really good job of making sure we adjust our neutral zone and do what we call a bit of a draft, and then we started really focusing on the centerman on breakouts, which opened up the ice for us, and now we had more zone time. Against Ferris is they're a team that's going to play hard and heavy. They have their goalies played, I think, 20 of their 21 or started 20 of their 21. So they got a goalie that's well seasoned, well veteran. He's been through the highs and lows of the year, and really at the end of the day, we want to just go out and start the game hard, fast, physical. To us, it's a road game. It's a different mindset to me on the road. We're not there to sell their tickets. I always say we're there just focused to get I want to say 2 points, but it's 3 points, right, in the CCHA and get a rest and then focus on Saturday. But as I said to the guys this week, our preparation it started Monday. We had to park the disappointment Saturday and get back to knowing what we do well. And I think the guys have seen belief in it, in the system and but again, the game can be funny, right? You can play the best game of your life and still lose, and you can play the worst game and win. So we just ton of respect for the program. That we're going to see up in Ferris, and we just know for us it's more we want to focus still on what we want, how we want to play to our identity and our brand.